think they call it lucid dreaming is a
Yeah,
official
so
term
you can
for it.
control certain things. So it means that you can teach yourself how to control your dream. And I think that period actually changed me a lot as well. I think about things differently. Because in the dream you can basically can do everything, right? You can fly, you can jump from one thing to another, that have no boundary, right? So during that period, I feel like my brain is painful every time you wake up, but it's you see things differently. And I go through a very weird period of you cannot distinguish between dream and real life. There's certain period that's so strange, right? But I think that when we talk about dream, I feel like we don't know enough about it, right? I believe that multiverse. So I think that the dream is actually a look back. When you have a computer, once in a while you see things happen with your computer. Part of it is because it's a certain software in the back that actually collapses each other. So if you think about human as a hardware, right? And what happened, your brain actually some sort of a software back loop, right? Then when you into hardware that try to communicate each other, right? It's just that will happen. It means that you're from another universe and you here communicate each other.
Yeah.
And the best way to communicate it is through dream. When your system is low.
Yeah, and we know so little about the brain, right? We know nothing about the brain, how it operates, how anything works. I mean, like example, like you might be alone by yourself, and like like you're thinking about one thing, and then another thing, and they have nothing connected at all, right?
And I think part of it is could be something that you see in the past. It's not just in my this is me again, a Buddhism or Appalachian Karma multi-life, right? I truly believe that dream is something that either that your previous life that still reflection on you, that you see your past or your future. Right? In Buddhism, we believe in right now in moments. It means that you basically at this moment, but you can life is not the linear. Time is not the linear. It's the moment, right? So you actually connect to other moments. Could be your past, could be your future, right? So you connect to each other.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's if you want to look at it, I can share you some link about it. But this is for me, right? For me, Buddhism is not about religious. It's more about philosophy. And I'm not religious guy per se, but I believe that a lot of things that they said in there, if you're looking back, it actually explains a lot of what's going on right now, right? That maybe previously we don't care enough about it. When they tell us, like, like a lot of things that in the past, let's say you go into a like a small tribe in Africa, that in jungle in Amazon, let's say, right? They never see a phone before. Yeah. You try to explain people a phone, they will never understand.
No.
I think a lot of things that now we start realize is that based on our current experience, a lot of things happen with us right now. Like we are not clear about the future. We're at the point of AI. A lot of things that maybe make more sense for us to looking at some of the old scripture, could be Christian, could be Buddhism, some certain old scripture that actually help us understand what's going on now. So for me, we go from dream to religious now. But the whole point of it is, I think we always try to separate between religion and science. But there are a lot of things that we maybe cannot explain yet because we don't have the technology.
Yeah.
But if you look at some of the own scripture, you can actually, wow, okay, that may be one way to explain it. And I think dream, multiverse, that part of the some of the conversation.
Yeah, like religion, like people say, I believe in God. Like, which God, right? Like the Christian God, the Muslim God, but the Norse God, the Romans, like there was like hundreds of thousands of gods, right? So which God is it?
And in Buddhism, we believe in that as well. We believe that there are multiple gods. And I think, and this is something that me watching a bunch of documentary, right? But I like that as well, right? I think we nowadays have to claim ourselves to God, that we have to, have one religious. But I think back then, in the early days, people don't do that. You up to your religious, right? Whoever you choose, right? That's the reason why a lot of people just pick a rock or a tree to be their God. it doesn't matter. In my opinion, it's more about in any religion, they try to make sure that you do the right thing and you do good, whatever religion you are. Yeah. So I think that's a common thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if I'm making this up? What if like all these gods actually were like pose the God of Christians, like all these gods, right? And they're up to somewhere above the sky and they're like playing us against each other, right? Like we're just a game to them, right? You know? That makes me
Okay,
sense.
so this is funny because I think that this is something that you see if you're looking at some of like what's it like Hindu, you're looking at like a lot of these old religious, and you look at like they talk about us as also, right? You know, previously a lot of God they fight in this order, right? Think about it, right? If you let's say like America, Russia, they fighting there, bunch of other country that don't know be a part of it as well. But always you have power and then you fight. So if God had a kind of power and don't have a right mindset, they will fight.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a normal thing. And then when you fight and you pick the fight and you basically have you know your fan, and then you end up like you know you have one religious and you again an religious. That's another thing. So in my opinion, there are multiple gods. Yes, I think so. Why we have multiple race? Why we have multiple people? Why don't we have multiple
languages?
Yeah. So why don't we have multiple gods? So I don't see that in issue.
And don't each culture have their own like their what's it called the flood story? Every culture has its own flood story.
Yeah. You look across on religious, it's one of those event that actually consistent in multiple